Hello viewer, welcome to Elimu TV. I am Mrs. Winnie Mwangi, Business Studies teacher from 1. Our viewers at home, send us an SMS indicating where you are watching us from and your name to the number 21450. In our lesson last time, we covered the reasons as to why people engage in business activities and mentioned just a few among them: the reason to make profit, to extract raw materials from their original state or their natural environment. We also talked of the provision of services, among others. In our lesson today, we are going to look at business environment. Business environment. Environment, we cannot discuss about the business environment unless we are able to understand what an environment is. A business environment is the surroundings of a business. That is, in any business, we have the locality in which it is operating and the surrounding areas, the surrounding area. In regard to a business environment, this is simply about the factors that influence the business. And this environment is from two areas. We have the internal business environment and the external business environment. In our next area of coverage, our next few lessons, we are going to talk about these two environments. We look at the factors that each of one is comprised of. And you start by looking at the external business environment. We need first of all to understand what the external business environment entails. External environment. External means that this environment comprises of factors outside the business. And it is also, the external environment is also referred to as the macro environment. The word macro refers to a wide coverage. It covers a wide area, meaning that the external business environment comprises of factors from a wide area. The management of a business may not have any control over the external environment. Even they may have they may have no control or very little control over the external environment. The external environment may provide factors that are favorable to the business. And when this is the case, this we refer to as opportunities. Opportunities are external factors, external business environmental factors that you favor the business. On the other hand, the factors could be unfavorable to the business, and if this is the case, we refer to these as threats. And what are the factors that comprise this external business environment? The external business environment. So some of the factors that comprise these factors. One of them is economics. So we have the economic environment. Economic environment. And as we studied earlier, we defined economics as an area of study that dealt with or deals with how human beings strive to fulfill the many human wants against the limited resources. And the same environment will affect a business in regard to the fact that consumers may be limited in regard to the ability to buy goods by these factors that comprise the economic environment. And the economic environment influences the consumers' willingness and ability to buy goods and services. And this is because we know very well that the resources to fulfill our needs are limited, yet the needs are unlimited. So we have those factors that influence the consumer's willingness to, or the ability to buy the goods and services. And this is, in other words, the purchasing power. The purchasing power of consumers. And this purchasing power is influenced by, one, the amount of money that the consumers earn, the earnings or incomes of the consumers. With a higher income, you may be able to purchase more goods and services. With the lower incomes, the amount of goods that you can buy also reduces. The other factor that constitutes to the purchasing power of consumers are the prices. With the high prices, consumers may not be in a position to buy a high quantity of goods and services. And with the lower incomes, with the higher incomes, they will be able, with the lower prices, they will be able to buy more of these goods. The third factor that influences the purchasing power of consumers is availability of credit facilities. Because you can buy goods on credit, you can acquire maybe some credit or loans in order to buy goods and services that you need. In regard to these economic activities, the management of a business needs to monitor. You need to monitor the economic environment, because it will have some influence, it will have some effect on the performance of your business. So you have to study the economic environment and see what positive factors are there, opportunities that are there, you take advantage of them. Then the other factor that comprise the external environment is one we refer to as demographic environment. This comes from the word demography. Demography is the study of population. And population can be studied in many aspects. We can be looking or study population in terms of the growth rate. Is the population increasing? Is it decreasing? We can also look at, say, the education levels of a population. And this is because for a well-educated population, there are goods that they will demand or require as opposed to a population that is not educated. Then we also talk about migration. Do we have a situation in the environment in which the business is operating that we are experiencing, where we are experiencing an influx of people into the area or out of the area? Migration can either be into or out of. So we need to study the population and see whether we have an increase in population or a decrease. We can also look at the income distribution of or amongst the population. If the income is evenly distributing, that is evenly distributed, the population will have a high purchasing power, and there will be a wider market for your goods as a business. Then we also look at the population in terms of the age. We could classify the population as having a young population. Maybe there are so many aged people, or we have a lot of children among this population. And this is because, again, we have certain goods that are consumed or popular among the children. So if the population has a high number of children, then products that are consumed by the very young children will have a high demand. The youths will also have some products that they demand, as well as the elderly. And it is important to study the population because it provides a market for the goods and services that are dealt with by the business. Then there is, thirdly, the legal political environment. Legal political environment. This is simply law and politics. It's a factor that influences the business positively or negatively, depending on what is prevailing. Any business operates in a country where there is a government, there are laws, and this will influence the well-being of the business. There are laws that have to be adhered to, and therefore will influence your business either positively or negatively. And the other issue about laws is that they keep on changing. They keep on changing and might change to favor your business or to affect your business negatively. And we also have politics. politics, because where we have political stability, this is an opportunity for the business to do well. It provides a favorable or conducive environment for the business to do well. However, if there is political instability, a business may not do well. It is affected by political instability negatively. And a manager of a business needs to study or assess the political climate in a country, because it cannot do well in an area where there is instability. We depend on the political climate for the businesses to function. Then we have the technological environment. And from the word technology, this refers to the advancement in scientific knowledge, advancement in scientific knowledge, or simply, technology is the know-how in regard to the methodologies used, the methods used in production, methods used in production of goods and services. And in our businesses today, in our environment today, we are experiencing a lot of changes in technology. For instance, we have had the changes in business management in terms of use of computers in our offices. Almost all the businesses are now using computers to carry out many of their activities in the office. And there are many areas where technology will influence how we are able to produce. The use of advanced technology helps us to increase productivity. However, failure to advance or adopt modern technology results in low productivity. Our dear viewer, we have not exhausted on the external business environment, but we have mentioned a few of these factors that constitute the external business environment, as the economic environment, the legal political environment, technological environment, and in our next lesson we will continue with this environment and see to it that we